Today is a difficult day. Ilanga lishone emini. We're bidding farewell to our leader, His Majesty King Goodwill Zwelithini kaBhekuzulu, isilo samabandla onke. It is a difficult day because a huge tree has fallen. Uwile umuthi omkhulu. Our nation is indeed in mourning. It was with the heaviest of hearts that we received the news last week that our beloved leader and king, after a courageous struggle, succumbed to the deadly disease that has taken the lives of so many people. When our Premier Zikalala called me to give me the sad news, followed up by a telephone conversation with Ubaba Hushenge, sadness also descended upon me. I want to thank Umntwana kaPhindangene, particularly who kept me and the nation informed at all times of His Majesty's condition. He and I spoke on a number of occasions about the difficult situation the king was going through. The passing of isilo samabandla onke has been met with grief and sorrow throughout our land. On behalf of the people of South Africa, I express my deepest condolences to the royal family and to the Zulu nation on this profound loss. It was during the course of his reign that his people, alongside all the people of our country, realized their dream of freedom from the injustices of colonialism and apartheid. And it was during his reign that the decades of dispossession and the willful destruction of our knowledge and economic systems, our culture, and governance institutions came to an end. Mbube will be remembered for being the staunchest defender of his people. He not only defended and advanced the interests of the Zulu people, but advanced their culture, their customs, the traditions, and a deep sense of identity and nationhood. He is celebrated across our beloved continent, Africa, because he valued diversity and respected the cultures of other kingdoms and other nations. During the tumultuous period of political transition in this country, he played a significant role in the achievement of democracy. The king will be remembered for his role in bringing peace and stability to KwaZulu-Natal during the difficult times our country went through. Working together with a number of other leaders, and especially former President Jacob Zuma, they worked to ensure, together with Ubabo Ubuthelezi, that there is peace in this province. As a leader, he preached peace and unity. He abhorred violence and its consequences. As the country moved towards democracy, he called for an end to political killings, traveling around the country, as we heard from Premier Zikalala, going to the various parts of our country in hostels and villages, meeting and encouraging people to resort to peaceful means of resolving conflicts. At some point, as he sought to deal with the problem of violence, he said, "Who will I lead if all my father's people are killing each other?" His Majesty was a man who believed that the pursuit of violence is ethically and morally wrong. His Majesty was one of our most revered traditional leaders. As one of the elders of our country, his advice was regularly sought by leaders of different political persuasions, including myself. I remember with fondness the long and in-depth conversations I had with him on everything from rearing cattle, on agriculture, on leadership, culture, including international matters. Being in his presence was a rare privilege. He always exuded warmth, wisdom, and love for the people of South Africa and our entire continent. Our nation has suffered a great loss, but let us pick up his spear and continue our quest to build a better South Africa. One of the things that I really admired with His Majesty is that he had faith in his country and his future. He had the faith to believe that we as a people and as a nation would win the battle for development, for progress and social justice. He did believe that we would triumph over poverty, inequality, and unemployment. He believed that we would triumph against gender-based violence and femicide. As we say farewell to Ubayete, we must remember our responsibilities as leaders to heal this land. Sithi kuNkulunkulu, duduzekani, the king is not dead, because kings don't die. Their spirits live with us, fueling the triumph of their kingdoms. Like most kings, His Majesty's demise carried much more and great consequence. And we now say to the royal family, thank you for sharing your father, your grandfather with us. And to the queens, we say thank you for sharing your husband with the nation. And we say kuwo wonke amakhosi nabaholi bamaqembu ezopolitiki, let us build on the legacy of our king. Let us unite in the fight against poverty. Let us fight against gender-based violence. Let us create work and opportunities for our king, for our youth. Our king has left us. Kodwa usoyohlangana nezilo eze phambi kwakhe. oDinizulu, oCetshwayo, oMpande, oDingane, ilembe eleqa amanye amalembe ngokukhalipha, uphunga nomageba. As the Black Mambazo sang, kukhona ikhaya lamaqhawe anqobile, the home of triumphant heroes. And that is where our king Isilo sesikhona nobaba umkhulu. Sithi hamba kahle Silo samabandla. Wena wendlovu, wena wendlovu, bayede. Ngiyabonga.